So maybe we'll just give like 3 more minutes or so, and then we'll get started. Anybody who's already here have any questions, concerns, comments?
Yes, Joyce and Nicole here. I've never used a pressure cooker before. I got one, but I'm a little nervous about it. So I got the other pot. So
Don't
I
be
don't
nervous.
know.
It's got pressure gauges on it, right?
It's got that little thing that wiggles, I think.
Yeah. There's different kinds of pressure cookers, and I'll talk about that then. Okay. Maybe I'll get out. I have 2 pressure cookers, and I'll get them both out.
Got a
So
little
that we
rubber
can have-
thing, and it's got another little bobble, red bobble that pops up.
Yeah.
Renee's gonna tell you about it.
Okay.
Yeah, each one's a little different, and I can show you. You want milk, right? Okay. My husband said,
They're not the pressure cookers your mother had.
there's called second generation pressure cookers. And I'll thank you for reminding me. I'll put that on my notes. We will talk about pressure cookers. Pressure cookers.
And lubricating gaskets.
Okay. Lubricating or just making sure it's wet? We didn't lubricate it.
Well, the wet lubricates it.
Oh, okay. Pressure cookers.
Is anybody using an Instapot?
Yeah, I have not tried making soup in my I have a Melfi, which is kind of like an Instapot. I can show you that too. We'll go over there. It's hiding behind the flowers. Anyway, so yeah, I've been using the Instapot thing for just grains pretty much and hot cereal. I use it to make rice. I haven't had it that long, and I haven't played with it that much, and so I understand the being nervous about new utensils. So yeah, there we go. So any other things you want me to bring up today? Nope. And I'm very happy that Joyce is here, because whatever I can't tell you, Joyce is like a pro. In fact, a lot of the people who've been participating here are like can cook circles around me. So so if people have questions that I
But
can't,
you have your own special way.
I don't. Is that Bonnie? Oh no, that's Joyce. I couldn't get the voice. And Suzanne is here. Suzanne is back on her feet.
Yeah, I am.
Good.
I actually went to Ward's today to buy all the ingredients.
Oh, how exciting. Good. So, well, I guess it's 4:05, correct? So we're going to get started. And so today we're going to make this curried split pea soup, which we love. And I'm going to show you the cookbook I originally got it from. This is another Lorna Sass cookbook. And what's nice about this cookbook, although you can get this like used, but she redid the cookbook years later and renamed it something else. I forget what she renamed it. But anyway, what's nice about this cookbook is she tells you not just how to do it with, she has both pressure cooker and standard stovetop. So she'll tell you how to do the recipes with those. And it has several split peas. It has 2 split pea recipes. The other one is split pea with parsnips, which is also excellent, but we like this one the best. And then she has her other cookbook that I talked about last time, the Great Vegetarian Cooking Under Pressure, has 2 more pressure split pea recipes. Split pea soup recipes. One of them is with carrots, I think, and herbs de Provence. Anyway, all her recipes are pretty wonderful. And we'll talk a little bit about the pressure cooker when we get over there. Things I want to say about this recipe is it's really healthy stuff. It's a high protein meal that's also high in fiber, low in fat, high in lots of potassium and other phytonutrients. Split peas are high in folate. Butternut squash has vitamin A, carotene, very high in fiber. There's my butternut squash. There we go. And if you have 2 of them, you could use it, you could use them for weightlifting. I don't remember how much this one weighs. And this recipe is very forgiving. If you use more onions, if you use more anything that you put into it, it's fine. Let's see, what else did I wanted to say? Raisins are high in iron, Celery. There's my celery. I always buy organic. I don't remember whether it is this year or not, but most years celery is on the Dirty Dozen list. So I splurge, although this one wasn't particularly more expensive than the regular celery. Let's see. Oh, and the other thing I just want to say is very important when you're cooking beans or split peas, do not add the salt because it toughens up the beans and they will never become tender. So that's an important thing. So sometimes when I'm making like a regular vegetable soup, I might use a low sodium bouillon cube, but I would not throw it in until the end. Like sometimes this one has some salt in it. And what I might do is leave out part of the water and then, mix up some of this at the end and throw it in after the peas are done to, do the rest of the liquid. So we're going to kind of get started. The first thing I'm probably going to do is the butternut squash. This takes a lot of time, a bit of time and energy. It's heavy duty work. And I often do this the night before, just so I don't have to do it all together. So I'm going to wash it. Because I am going to peel it. I don't remember if this one's, it is organic, but I like to peel it anyway, because it just doesn't look that good on the outside. So I'm going to just use this brush and brush it off a little bit. And I don't remember how much this thing weighs. I could not use it all, but because I know it's over 1.5 pounds, that's for sure. And let's see, I had a good knife for this. Oh, I'll try this one. Try this at home. Oh, that's good. Here we go. So I cut off the end, and then I'm going to use, this is a really wonderful, I probably should take this thing off. So I hope you guys are following along so that you're not bored just watching me do this. You could do it yourselves.
Yes,
anyway.
following along.
Okay, cooking along. So then I'm gonna peel this thing. This is a really super duper peeler. Oh, getting it on my computer. I'll try and do it in this direction so that, oh yeah, see, it goes pretty quickly with this thing. Yeah, so I'm just peeling the peel off before I cut it up, because otherwise, well, duh, you can't peel each little individual piece. So this is not too bad, actually. Actually, the first thing I usually do is I measure out the piece. We'll do that next. So just any way you can. This is a nice one. I might weigh it so I don't use too much, although maybe I'll just eyeball it. But it says 1.5 pounds, I believe, in the recipe, and this feels like maybe 2.5. I don't know. Anyway, it's fun. It's good exercise. Yeah, just there we go. Are you guys having difficulty? Anybody having difficulty peeling your thing? This is not a conventional vegetable peeler. This came with my husband wanted to have some special kit. We were going to make our own chips in the microwave or something, and we never did. But it came with this incredible peeler that really sharp.
Is it serrated or just sharp?
It's just sharp. I mean, you don't want to get your finger involved with this thing at all. So I'm going to clean up as I go so I don't have all these little things all over the place. I like to clean up while I go because otherwise I don't like facing the mess afterwards. And also it makes it easier to do stuff. Voila. Okay, so now's the fun part. This is a part of anger management here, or stress management. So what I do is I'm just gonna, it says to cut them into 1.5-inch pieces. It doesn't really make a huge dish, but.
Renee, do you have any idea where somebody could get a peeler similar to the one that you use?
I don't, but if you look online, you probably can. It doesn't have a name on it or anything. Dennis is looking at the peeler, and I'm going to cut it into little dice, this sort of big dice, like that. You don't need to get out your ruler, guys, you know, cooking is a little more forgiving than that. The idea is basically just so that they cook. And believe me, the butternut squash take a shorter time to cook than the split peas. So I'm putting the stuff into a bowl and I will put it along the side. What I like to do is get everything, all the ingredients ready before I start cooking. Be very careful with your fingers because these are slippery squash. That's what I'm squash. Anyway, and then notice that I'm cutting with my hand on top of the knife because otherwise, that way you know you're not going to cut off your finger. And if I ever cut my finger with this knife, just take me straight to the emergency room because this is a really sharp knife. Okay, I'm going to cut off some more of this stuff. Dennis is trying to find out the name. I don't think, is there a name on that thing?
While he's looking, Renee, I have a question about the
Go
celery.
right ahead.
I think I bought the celery a month ago and it's still in my refrigerator looking great. I wrapped it in foil like they say to do, and it's still looking okay, but is it safe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's going to go? I mean, I never heard of wrapping it in oil. So I just want to say.
No, not in oil, in foil, in foil.
In foil, foil.
Yeah,
Oh,
foil.
I don't know. I don't use foil whenever I can avoid it. So what I'm going to do is use this. I mean, if it looks good, it's probably fine.
Okay, it's pale, but it tastes good.
Yeah. Mine, I don't know when I bought it, but it looks great. I probably got it, you know, within the past few weeks, but celery tends to, you know, long-lived. This is the part of the squash that has the seeds in it. And some people, you know, probably dry them out and eat them or use them for something, but I don't. Joyce could probably tell us about that.
I save mine and throw them around the compost and it grows. I have lots of squash there.
Oh, okay. Volunteer squash.
If you have
Okay,
room
so
in
I'm
your
not gonna-
yard, throw the seeds out there and they'll grow.
Okay, so I am cutting up the rest of this. This is the part that's curvy. Still haven't cut any fingers off, hallelujah. Oh, and there was a little bit over here. Couldn't get the thing. Okay, everybody in here. Okay, so that's my squash. My squash is all ready. Everybody in?
Yep.
And then I'm going to do the split peas. As you can see, I mixed my split peas this time. I guess I only had it's a long story, but I didn't have room in the other thing to do them. So what I'm going to do here is measure out 2 cups of split peas. And what I'm going to do is, actually, I need that other bowl. That other piece in there. Hold on a second. Do these fit in here? Oh, not really. Okay, good enough. Okay, so I'm going to measure out the peas, and then what I'm going to do. Oh, I may not have 2 cups here. I might have to go dig into another batch here. Anyway, is I pour them out on a white bowl. So sometimes these things have rocks in them. You do not want to have rocks in your soup because then your guest will break a tooth and sue you. So you look through them and make sure there are no rocks or any other things that you don't want to serve people. So this is mostly yellow split peas. They probably have, because of the color, they probably have different, sometimes some of us might have to take our glasses off to do this. Just go, you know what I mean. Okay, I don't have quite 2 cups there, so hold on 1 second. I'm going to go get some more split peas from down here. There's a bunch of green ones. Add in that jar. Okay. And I just store things in jars in my pantry. I usually buy things like lentils and beans in bulk, you know, from bulk bin. And you got to be careful because sometimes those bulk bins, you know, have weird stuff in them, but that's how I do it.
Renee,
What, yes, Dennis?
tell them that if there are ever any bugs in their food, they don't have to throw it out, just put it in the freezer
Oh,
for 24 hours.
Okay, my husband who did research for the Department of Agriculture about bugs in crop food said that if you take your stuff and you put it in the freezer for 24 hours, then if there were bugs in it or eggs in it, it kills them. So, yeah, I did have a bunch of lentils that I returned, a few weeks ago, because that, see, like that. Okay, so now we have our 2 cups, and what I'm gonna do is rinse them. I don't know if you don't really need to. Okay, if he wants, he can follow me to the, I'm just putting water in the bowl and stirring them around with my sterile hand. And then I'm gonna pour off the water a little bit and do it a second time. And the water gets kind of, a little white. I don't know what's on those beans, but. Anyway, what's nice about split peas and lentils is they're very nutritious, but they take a lot less time to cook than beans. On the other hand, at least during the pandemic, pretty much I have been honestly using a lot of canned beans as opposed to making them from scratch. Occasionally I've made garbanzo things from scratch, but not a lot. So I'm gonna rinse these.
In a bowl like this.
Over this bowl and let them drain. So here we have our split peas in this bowl, in the colander, and watching them drain. So the other thing we want to get together is our onion, large onion. This is probably not as large as I would have liked, but so be it. And I'm gonna just chop up the onion into, what does it say? Just chopped. It doesn't really make a difference. It's all gonna get cooked, pressure cooked, or just cooked for a long time. I'm gonna cut this in half to get this stuff off, get this peel off. The skin, it's called skin, right? Okay. Okay, we just skinned this guy, and we're gonna skin this friend. Get all the skin off because it doesn't taste good. Any other questions about any of these ingredients? Onions, high in vitamin C. I'm just gonna give it a little rinse. I just feel like it. Okay. And then I'm going to get a bowl for the onions. Okay. Okay, so I'm just cutting them roughly chopped, kind of. I'm going to take this little nodule out here. Well, maybe not. Well, just when you pressure cook stuff, it really gets cooked. Very well cooked.
Did anybody find any rocks in their split peas? I didn't.
No.
I didn't find any. Yeah, this way.
Once in a while, there might be one, so it's worth checking.
Okay, so there we have our onions are chopped, and then the next thing that's supposed to go in with the onions is the ginger. Notice this recipe has no garlic. Isn't that unusual?
Right.
Okay. And so remember, if in case you weren't here last week, so we have our ginger root, and where do we keep our ginger root? Bonnie, in the freezer. We put it in the freezer so that number one, it lasts. He's still looking at I was going to use the peeler, but that's okay. And number two, it's nice and hard. So when you want to grate it, it's not like mush. Okay, so I'm just peeling some of this stuff off, but I'm not really particular about the ginger peel. And it says we need 2 tablespoons. Oh, we're going to be here a while. Okay, forgot about that. So, where's my tablespoon measure? It's going to take a while. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. A little arm broke off there. So I'm just going to keep grating.
My other favorite.
And ginger, of course, is really good. Like it's an anti-inflammatory.
Right.
and it's good for digestion. I use a lot of ginger.
I often forget to put ginger in soup, but my sister swears by it. She says it makes the soup have such a much better flavor.
It is. Well, it depends on what else is in the soup. I probably wouldn't put it in with like a minestrone or something, but you know, anything Asian, Indian. See, it looks like a big pile of ginger, but when you're going to measure it in, when you dump, you know, when you press it down, it's not going to be that much. Oh, so before I measure this ginger, actually, this is something that I do. Forget the ginger for a minute, because the ginger's wet and it's going to wetten up make my measuring spoons wet. I'm going to measure my other ingredients first. So my other things. So what I'm going to do, everything kind of goes in together. So I'm putting these split peas in this bowl, and then I'm going to add all the other ingredients in here. And then, so I could just dump them in when the time comes. So let me get the onions out of the way. Onions, you're going to go over here. And the ginger's just, oh, see? Not perfect. Test. Okay, so now we need.
But do you saute the onion and ginger first in the pot?
Yes, that's what happens. So what I'm going to do is measure my other spices, because I don't want to have to dry this thing off. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of curry powder. You can use more. I am not going to measure this exactly, but as I showed you last time, you can level it off with if it's something like baking powder and you want to have it like totally measured exactly, you would level it off with a knife. So I'm just putting in my tablespoon of curry powder. And then I have my teaspoon of fennel seeds. And I probably mentioned this last time, is I buy my stuff in bulk, mostly my spices in bulk. 1 teaspoon, this is a teaspoon measure. And I'm gonna also do that, like that. And then there was cinnamon. I buy my stuff in bulk, and the things that I really use a lot of, like curry powder, turmeric, I buy in pound bags and either order them through Wards or get them myself through Frontier Co-op, which has mostly organic stuff. So this is 3/4 of a cup of 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. So that's my half. And I'll tell you, it doesn't hurt to add extra of stuff.
I'm not measuring.
Yes. Raised souls. And then we have the last thing is the bay leaf, which you don't really have to measure, but because we're doing the other spices now, I'll do it, because otherwise I will, forget. Bay leaves. They're bay leaves you could always buy in bulk, and they're really inexpensive because they weigh like nothing. It's kind of like when you buy nutritional yeast or something, like you get a whole lot. Like if you buy them in little jars at Publix, forget it. That's a small fortune. So I'm gonna put this on the side, and we're gonna go back to our ginger. And so I just want to show you, remember all that ginger? Look what it came down to. All that ginger I grated probably is not even half of what we need. Ha. See? So that's like maybe half a tablespoon. So the grate goes on.
I only have 1. Okay. Have to grate some more.
Okay, we can have a lot of great jokes.
Great joke.
Great jokes. I'm gonna peel off a little bit more of the
Got any?
outside, because I think it grates a little better if you don't have the peel on. Okay, and then we just need to cut up the celery pretty much, and then we'll just, throw the rest of the stuff in. Okay. It's good, like, if you haven't been going to the gym, you just grate ginger here. There we go. Okay. So if I measure out right away, it's gonna look, it's gonna look like a lot more. I'm gonna put it in with my onions. Oh, come on, everybody, out. And I'm still gonna have to, with 2 tablespoons, right? We're still going on it. We're still moving on with the ginger.
You probably have enough.
No,
No,
that's
no?
2 tablespoons, no?
Yeah.
2 tablespoons grated fresh ginger.
I
I
think
say you can't have too much ginger.
I have 1.5. That's good.
You don't want to, I mean, you could always add some more in the end, but this is gonna get like,
Nice flavor.
yeah. Okay, okay. Want to call it a day with the ginger? We're getting tired of grating ginger. Okay, probably good enough anyway. Okay. So this is a recipe that I made with the veterans when I worked at the VA, and I knew we were doing well when there was a guy who came in and he had his wife come in also to the class. Let me rinse these. Meanwhile, I'm going to rinse my celery. These were nice, beautiful celery. Anyway, and the guy really like never had cooked before in his life. Let me put my ginger back in. And by the second class, he made this soup. And he said, we have currants. Why don't we throw in currants too? And it was sort of like that moment that the light bulb went off, that he felt like, yes, I can cook, because I can, make a substitution here and it's fine. And it was like, it was really nice. So gonna cut up this celery. I generally cut off the little end there. This one, I don't know. And I'm not gonna be using the leaves here, so I'm tossing those. Okay. And then I'm actually gonna use a more modest knife. What does it say? Celery chopped. I'm not exactly gonna chop it up into little dices or anything. I'm just gonna do like that. And if I do both of these like that, then come on. Then I'll use this here knife. Okay.
That's what I did.
They say celery you burn more calories eating it raw than it has in it. Definitely good for fiber. It's an anti-calorie food. It's mostly water and fiber. As you can hear, when you cut it, you can hear it's like cellulose, but it gives everything a nice flavor. I like celery.
And good cell salts too.
Good cell salts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this in with my peas and all the other stuff. So the only thing we're missing now is the raisins, or you could use currants or anything else you feel like throwing in there. Makes it sweet. I'm gonna put my onions and squash over by the stove. And then the only thing left was raisins. Okay, you are not putting the salt in, remember? Till the end. And it calls for 1/3 cup raisins, but you know what? We're just gonna put in a bunch of raisins. Is that 1/3 cup? Maybe it is, maybe it's a little more. Anyway, it gives it this nice sweetness, but you can measure if you like. Oh, a few more. Okay, there we go. And I usually buy organic raisins because grapes are usually on the dozen list as well. Okay, so we have all of our other ingredients, and now we are going to, do we put everything in? Oh, we need one other thing I want to say. I have just a very little bit of vegetable water left from steaming green beans or something the other day. So I'm going to use some of that, but anyway, so I'll include that when I measure out the liquid for this. But if you have, we discussed last time that when you steam vegetables with water, just save the water and then use it for cooking soup or grains or whatever. Otherwise it's like throwing, just pouring nutrients down the drain. Okay, so it says use canola oil. You could also use olive oil, would be fine. I
How
usually
long
get,
can we save that water, Renee?
say again?
How long can we save that water, that vegetable water?
Oh, I would say like 3 to 5 days tops. If it starts looking funky, you can pour it down the drain. Okay.
On your
But mine looks pretty good. Anyway, so now we're gonna go over here. Dennis, we're gonna come over here and talk about pressure cookers. Okay, so I have 2 pressure cookers here. I'll move the flour. Good. Okay, so I have 2 pressure cookers here. This was my first model that I got. And it's a Fagor, I forget what the name of it was. It was a Fagor something, and it's the same thing as the Fagor Splendid. The Fagor, apparently, I checked today because this used to be my standard wedding gift. Not that anybody ever used them. Is like $50 or something. I would give people this plus the book, Great Vegetarian Undercooking, Great Vegetarian Cooking Under Pressure. This, it's, you know, stainless steel, good gauge and everything. And it was the most inexpensive pressure cooker on the market. And it works. And basically the way it works is, you know, you line up these lines. I don't know if you can see those. And then you put your stuff in and then you line it up and you just go like that. You press this up and you press that like that. And then you put it on, high flame. And when this yellow button comes up, we have liftoff. And that's when you count, like if it says 6 minutes, that's when you count from. And you have to, at that point, lower the flame or the heat to the point where it just stays up, because otherwise you're overheating it, but not so low that the little yellow thing goes down. So that was my first pressure cooker. And then I got this Ecomatic one by Kuhn Rico, fancier. Oh, there's water in here. I'm gonna get rid of this water because we tried this out earlier, because the last time I used this, I think I used it wrong. But this is a little fancier model, a little heavier gauge. And actually, I was in communication with the Lorna Sass. I'm in her fan club. And I had actually contacted her to ask if I could use one of her recipes in my book. And she, of course, said yes. And she told me that there was a deal going on about these. And I got this one. I think it's a little more heavy gauge and good. So, you can't have too many pressure cookers. Well, I guess you can. So it depends on me. So what we're going to do, I'm not using, normally I would turn on the fan and open the window because I have a gas stove. But if I do that, you won't be able to hear anything. See? So I'm not going to, so I'm going to keep that off and get asthma for you guys. There we go. Just kidding. Anyway, so I'm going to heat this up. Just like the
We're cooking, right?
just like the Instapot. Pardon?
We're cooking now, right?
We're cooking,
All right.
and here we're cooking with gas. So
Yeah, me too.
okay, so I have considered getting an induction stove, and I may yet do that. So, but right now this one's fairly new, and I really like it, and well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So I'm heating up the oil, and then I'm just going to pour in my onions and ginger, and what it says to like cook for a minute, I think. Somebody told me. Says, oh, it doesn't. It probably says in the book, but I didn't.
It just says to saute,
Yeah, that's how I sent the recipe to you. I could look at
saute
it.
onion and ginger and oil. So I guess just till it starts to get a little color.
Yeah. I'm gonna look in the book and see if I missed that somehow. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, saute for 2 minutes. It says saute for 2 minutes. Apologies that I did not include that in the.
Well, it probably
Gotcha.
depends upon the person's pot. So
Yeah, it does. Okay, 2 minutes. We're gonna keep it official here.
I know you said don't add salt, but I'm putting
Can you see it?
just
See it there?
Well,
moisture out of the onions.
when you want me to look down, I will.
No, it's okay. I can't hear what people are saying because of the frying, the sounds of
And
frying.
they can't hear you either when you're making
Oh,
noise.
okay. I'm just off camera for a minute. I'm just getting water ready. So this is a soup. I just want to say that once you cook it, it's gonna thicken up. It's after you cook, if you have leftovers, they're gonna thicken up considerably.
Yeah. The starch and the peas thicken.
Yeah, good pea soup becomes, as they say, thick as pea soup, right? Okay, another minute of sauteing. It's starting to look sauteed, right? Can you see it? Yeah, and the ginger's sticking, but it's not a big deal because once you turn the water and start cooking, it'll be fine. That's one of the reasons I don't really like sauteing ginger, but here we go. Maybe I should have had it on a lower flame. Okay, so I'm gonna add this water.
How much water are we using?
It says, I believe 6 cups, but I'm only gonna put in 5. I have my reasons. Okay. I just dumped in the all the peas and stuff. I'm gonna put the
You're putting everything else in, the squash and the
yeah
peas and the raisins, everything, right?
everything, everybody in, and then I'm going to rinse this out and put some more water. I'm gonna use 5 cups. I'll be back. I'm pretty sure it said 6 cups, correct?
Yeah, it did. That's what I'm putting in.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, my pot's gonna be short.
Your who?
I should have used my larger pressure cooker because my small,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I use the word.
it holds
Sorry.
it holds 6 cups of water, but the squash is bringing it up.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be more than half. Mine has a little thing inside and it says half. So I'm going to, so everybody's in. And this one, the way this one works, when we get up to pressure, we'll come back and say hi to the pot. But meanwhile, this one, just, you turn it on. You just also lining up the arrow. There's a little arrow here and a
There's
little arrow
something you
there.
forgot to tell them, Renee.
Oh, make sure that
You should do that right now.
okay. My husband says last time I screwed up because I didn't have the gasket wet, but I don't usually have the gasket wet. But anyway.
And that's why it usually leaks.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I have to say that after I cook, I make sure that I wash that gasket really well to get any oil off of it. Because my mom, I remember my mom's, she didn't wash it good enough and it got really hard and then it didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you also want to make sure that your gasket is seated properly. You know, it has to go under that little thing. So, and then. What?
So the reason, is that when you wet the gasket, it lubricates it. So when you screw it on, it makes a good seal. Otherwise, the rubber and the metal don't make a good seal if it didn't slide on with a little lubricant. So the water lubricates it.
Okay.
Otherwise, steam comes out around the pot.
So I just want to say this one, in order to close it, you have to press this little thing. The same thing that you used to open it, you need to close it. So now it is sealed on. I'm putting it on as high a flame as I can without it licking up the sides. And when it comes up to pressure, this thing will come up and and I just let it go up to the high pressure mark is going to be that red one. But meanwhile, I'm going to let it do it by itself. So that's it for now on the
Right,
pressure cooker.
My pressure cooker doesn't have the little thing, like you said, the release thing. I just put it on and it clicks in place. And then I have this weight. Some people might have some weights that you put on top.
Is yours a jiggle top?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a Presto and it has, a lot of them just have these weights to determine how much pressure. So then you just put the little weight on top. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I want to say about pressure cookers is a lot of people are very nervous about those old jiggle top ones because they're afraid they're gonna, poke out an eye or make a hole in the ceiling. And both of these are what you call second generation pressure cookers, and there is no jiggle top, and it's not dangerous. I mean, you're only dangerous what I did last time, and I burnt it because I didn't have the thing lubricated. But you don't really have to worry, I don't think, about about, you know, any there's no danger like in the old jiggle top pressure cookers.
Yeah, well, the way they make them now, there's not really a danger even with the jiggle tops because they have the relief valves on them and that you can see when the pressure's up. So when the
Right.
little button goes back down, you know the pressure's down, so you can take
Okay.
that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do here is I had put in 5 cups. I'm gonna add another cup, but not yet. And what I'm gonna do with that 1 cup, I'm just gonna heat the water in the microwave, and then I'm gonna put in a bouillon tube. What is all this dirt over here? I don't know. So I'm just heating up water for a minute, and then I'm going to, let me just talk a little bit about, you can come back over here if you want to. This is the bouillon cubes that I'm using. I can put them over here. Maybe they'll seem better. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, it's a low sodium bouillon cubes. People are concerned about sodium. A half a cube still has 105 milligrams, but a regular bouillon cube has like 900 or over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So I use these, and there was another brand that I really loved that was even better. Excuse me, but they have gone out of business, the Cella Fiber. So I'm going to just add one of these in, even though it's 6 cups, and I'll mix it up with the other stuff. So now, as promised, after this, I'm going to, let me just get that started so we probably will not, you know, except for, unless people are going to hang on, we may not see the end of the soup for the people who are not using pressure cookers, because it's going to take half an hour. Let me,
Do I keep the stove stop on high still? It stays on high, right?
Yeah,
yeah, well, what we're waiting for, what I'm waiting for here is to see when the thing pops up, and then I'll time it.
when the pressure valve goes up, that's when you start timing your minutes.
Exactly, but when the pressure thing goes up, you also have to remember to turn down the heat to a lower thing so that it stays up, but doesn't go off, but isn't too high, and that'll be a perfect thing. So here what I'm doing is I'm just stirring in that bouillon cube, which says it's good for 2.5 cups. It's just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. But this soup probably doesn't even need it.
Doesn't mean it, yeah.
It probably doesn't need it with all that stuff. But anyway, that's what I often do. So we're gonna put this guy on the side. We'll just add it in at the end.
That's what I like about the jiggle top is because I know how when it's rocking, I know how much pressure is, you know, if it's rocking a lot, it's too much pressure. So I can adjust the flame according to how it's rocking. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get rid of this over here. And I said we were just gonna make a little fruit salad, just for
Yay.
fun. It's just a way of having a nice dessert. And I'm gonna just show you a few different products here. I just want to show you this. A friend had a bunch of oranges and she brought me a bunch of oranges, and we juiced them this morning.
Nice.
So we had fresh orange juice. They weren't the best tasting, but I poured in just a small amount of this mango peach juice that I had gotten at Earth Origins or something. And it was like having a cocktail. It was really totally divine. So, and we'll be doing that again with the rest of it. And she said, I wrote her and she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you like them. I'm going to bring you more." So we're gonna get more. Anyway, so blueberries, I usually try and get organic.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to go pick some. And let's see, what are we going to make this in? We're going to make it just in a little bowl, because just the 2 of us. And I'm just going to pour in the blueberries, and that was all the blueberries that are left. We need to go shopping for more blueberries. Blueberries, of course, as everybody must know already, especially as we get older, they're good for your brain. They have, all these anthocyanins on it, good phytochemicals, and they're yummy. And let's see. And then I have a pear here somewhere. Okay. The pear, I also got, this is the first time I've gotten one of these. This is a You can see it over there. It's a red bosque, and they were organic in a bag from Trader Joe's when I was there last week. So I'm gonna cut that up and add that in. Probably don't even need the whole thing, but we're going to. They're really delicious. They taste a little different than the others. So I'm just cutting it up. I'm not going to peel it. I'm just getting rid of the core. And I don't know about the nutrients in pears, but they're good. They got to be good. And I'm just,
I don't
First
have pear, but I got mango, so I've got mango.
okay, sounds yum.
I have blueberries and I'm gonna put some banana in here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put some banana in because I have bananas that are ready to roll here. And then I'm just, cut up some pear.
I'm gonna have dessert before I have soup.
Yeah, we're pretty hungry here. So meanwhile, I'm just looking over at the pressure cooker. Usually it tells you because it makes noise. So just sort of dicing these up, but not too small. Another great thing to do with pears and apples is make like a crisp this time of year. It's nice. Okay, and then a banana. See, these are nice. These are ready to, I like having extra bananas because then I could always peel them and freeze them and have them in the freezer for making sorbet. I always rinse the outside of my fruit before I cut it. Although this one, I'm just peeling the whole thing. But so the pressure cooker's starting to make some, sounds like there's some action there. Okay.
Oh, my button went up. What does that mean?
Okay, your button went up. Okay, so
Yeah.
that means that you have reached pressure, and what you're going to want to do is lower the flame to keep up the pressure, but not so much. And then time it and hit your timer for, the actual recipe says 6 or 8 minutes, but I always do it for 10 minutes because I like them, because it never seems to get finished in 6. I mean, if you want, you can check them then, but I would say do it for 10 to 12 minutes. That's my recommendation.
Renee,
Yes,
if I'm
ma'am.
in a pot, do I put a cover on it on low?
Oh, yes, definitely put a cover on it. And, just on the stovetop, just cook,
Yeah,
cover
get
it
to
and
a
cook.
boil and then simmer.
Exactly. And I would occasionally, because you got a regular pot, you can lift the cover and stir it around occasionally just to make
Sure.
sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so as you can you see from there? We're starting to steam, but our pressure has not come up. And there is no water coming out the sides, which is a good sign. So this morning, actually, we had tofu pancakes, which were incredible, as usual. And what I do is I mix this mixture of yogurt. Instead of using sweetened yogurt, what I've gotten to do is I make, I just take plain yogurt, non-dairy, of course, and just throw in just fruit, which is like any kind of preserves that doesn't have sugar in it. Like, these are some examples. I think these are, this is Crofters, and this is probably Crofters also, you think? Made by Trader Joe's.
That's Trader Joe's, yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying it's the Trader Joe's gets their stuff made by other people. And my guess is that this is the same company, made by the same company. They never tell you. But anyway, so I had a little bit left over from this morning, but I'm going to add some more. And I just want to tell you, I just discovered this. Oh my God, look at how much. Wow. So this is a new product.
That's what I have.
Can you see that? It's Kite Hill.
Oh, yeah,
That usually makes almond yogurt.
Right.
And this one has, I think, pea protein in it as well. Soy protein isolate. There we go. And it's Greek style. So it's really thick.
Oh, I didn't get the Greek style. I don't even know if they had it.
That's okay. I'm going to use half and half.
I'm just
This
saying
other
that the plain unsweetened one is just almond milk and That's it. It's got citrus fiber and locust bean. It doesn't have the soy isolate in it.
Right, but see, the benefit of this one is,
The
what
protein.
we're getting there, is it has, holy cow, well, no cow. 2/3 of a cup has 17 grams of protein in it.
I don't know.
That's like outrageously high, but let's see what it looks like. I actually never bought this one before,
It's Greek. I mean, if
but
you
it's
want
pretty,
to-
pretty Greek.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mix it up with the stuff I had from this morning.
Yeah, this one has 12 grams.
And then this is the one that I normally use. This is made by Nancy's. And
Yeah.
it's an oat milk based yogurt, and it has 6 grams in 6 ounces, which is 3/4 of a cup. So
Is that an organic oat?
it is. I'm pretty sure it is. You know what? That's a good question. It may not be. It is not, but it also has fava bean protein in it. So it does not say,
Yeah,
it
I'm
does
always
not
looking,
say it's
yeah.
non-GMO. at
that
least.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I'm
They
gonna put a little
still-
bit
they
more in
still-
here.
They still spray it with glyphosate, but I'm always on the hunt for organic oat products. And Chobani made the organic oat milk and they took it off the market. I'm heartbroken. It was so
Uh-huh.
good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure I get all my stuff off of here and throw that out. There we go. And there we go. So I mixed up the yogurt. Oh, there's a few more things I'm gonna put in here. Let me put these yogurts back in the fridge. So we still have not achieved liftoff here. I'm looking for something I really like in my yogurt is, in my fruit salad is walnuts.
Me too.
Of course, high in omega-3s. I'm just gonna take like a handful and chop them up. So this is a knife that's good for chopping up things like this because it's not serrated. You want like a flat kind of knife. And then if you put your hand sort of over it like that, it'll keep them from skating all over the place. Flying walnuts. They don't have to be so small, but you know, you don't want large pieces. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then something I really like, but Dennis does not, so I will not add them, is candied ginger. I'm a sucker for candied ginger, which of course has sugar all over it, but I like it.
It's
So,
delicious.
so we still have not achieved liftoff. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna put the flame up a little bit more. Oh, it certainly is making enough noise, and there is, anyway. So any questions thus far? Comments, feedback? I'm gonna mix this in. Oh, one other thing that is really nice in here that I'm gonna put in is, well, we don't have that much left of them, but I like orange craisins. They're just like, I don't know how they do it. It's a Trader Joe's product and they just, it's like, you know, dried cranberries. This one is not lifting off. Sometimes it needs a little help. I'm gonna give it a little help. See what happens. Nope, not lifting off.
My
It
God.
knew I was doing a class in front in public here, so it's not. Never use the pressure cooker that you haven't used in several months when you're doing a class. Ha. Oh, it's rising, it's rising. It's like a wind in there. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway. So here's our yogurt fish salad. So the soup is a pretty complete meal. It doesn't have any grain in it. So if you want to have a nice piece of, you know, yummy bread with it, something smeared on it, that'll give you your grain.
If we finished our
We
fruit
have your-
salad, can we eat?
Pardon, your soup is finished?
No, I said if my fruit salad is finished, can I eat it?
Oh, you can do whatever you like.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm just mixing this fruit salad up. Here we go. I probably was a little heavy-handed on the yogurt because I got carried away with the 2 different types of yogurt.
Okay, I get to go.
No, it's got to go up to at least the first red line, if not the second red line. So it's not up. And I might actually, because it's taking so long to go up, I might actually only give it to like 8 minutes and then check it. I hope it's not burning like last time.
My diggle's rocking. Can you hear it? I'm gonna have to turn my microphone off because it's loud.
Uh-huh. Okay. So if anybody has questions about anything or feedback for what you'd like to do next time, I don't know if folks are, some of the possibilities, they're still going up. Some of the possibilities are maybe some breakfast items like steel cut oats, etc. for hot cereal. It's not up. Stir fries, whatever, whatever folks are interested in learning about. Quinoa bowl. Trying to think of the things that we often eat. Lasagna, it's a big job, but I make a lasagna and then it lasts like, the next several days we're eating lasagna, so it's good.
How about meal prepping? Meal prepping for the week.
Meal prepping for the week. I don't, that's how I meal prep for the week is I like leftovers. Like if I'm, Dennis, how are we doing? It's not quite up.
No.
What I do is some of my meals sort of overlap. It's making a lot of noise. Hope you can hear me. Like if I make a quinoa bowl and I have leftover quinoa, then I use the quinoa in a salad. It's not up. I should use the other pressure cooker. Too much steam coming out. Let me put this thing down. Oh, there we go. Now it's not, Dennis. See that?
What did you do?
See this, I don't know what this part is called, but sometimes it just goes up high and that's when the steam comes out. I think that,
Well, that's
anyway, okay. So,
Renee, we also have a request for stir fry and lasagna in the chat.
oh, we do. Okay. Then we'll do that. I think stir fries are great because they're very, flexible, mutable. You can make a stir fries with same vegetables and put on different sauces. Some of my favorite, do it over noodles, do it over rice, different kinds of rice. Friday night we made a coconut curry using light coconut milk and had it over black rice because it looks really nice, the forbidden rice. So that was one, one way to do it. One of my favorite things is drunken noodles, which has basil and these big thick noodles, rice noodles, which I found out are not whole wheat noodles. We have liftoff. I'm now going to lower it.
Mine is done. Hers is starting.
Yours is done already?
I think so.
I'm putting it on for 10 minutes and we'll see what happens.
Maybe that thing you heard was.
We're keeping it up
Still
here.
have 4.5 minutes to go.
Also, Renee,
Okay.
we are at 5 o'clock right now.
Okay, so people are welcome to stay or go as if they need to go. That's fine, but I'll wait till this is done so I can show you how to open the pressure cooker. Unless everybody leaves, in which case you're on your own. Okay, so I'm gonna put some things in the fridge.
Renee, where did you get your pressure cooker?
Where did I get my pressure cooker from? The first one I know I got at Bed Bath & Beyond, and the second one I don't remember. I think it was before I was an online orderer, so I might have gotten that at Bed Bath & Beyond. When I looked today on Bed Bath & Beyond, they did not have the Hoffinger anymore. They had other brands that look good, but I can.
What's the brand?
This one, the one that I'm using today, is an Ecomatic made by Rico Kuhn, Kuhnrikon. I think it's a German company,
Okay.
like really well made, and it usually works well. But you can spend anywhere between $50 and $250 on a pressure cooker. And then also, I just want to say that things like this, I'm going to walk over here and show it to you. This Melty Instapot, what people are doing, people are getting Instapots like this.
Yes.
And
all recipes.
Apparently, you know, if you study up on it, you could use it for everything. You could saute in it, you know, you could use it for lots of different things. I don't, but I do like using it for making hot cereal because I just put everything in and then, you know, turn it on and it automatically times. You don't have to babysit it, you know
So-
what I mean? So that's easy.
Have you used it as you haven't used it as a pressure cooker like for beans to see how
For
it
beans,
works? Or?
I don't think so. So far, I've only used it for making quinoa, rice, and hot cereal, pretty much grains. I'm trying to think if I've used it for anything else.
It sounds like you
it-
like the pressure cooker better.
Yeah, I like my stovetop pressure cooker, but it does have all these different settings on it. Apparently, it could be a slow cooker. I mean, and this one also, I bought the this really alien looking thing. I'm gonna lower this a little bit more. Let me show you this alien that I bought, which is for a little extra, I got this, which is an air fryer. I don't know if you can see that. An air fryer. And when you put this on top of the Melfi, you take the cover off and put this on, and it glows like a UFO. I mean, it's really incredible. It's kind of scary, but I've used that a few times for air frying. But what I have found is it's not very large. And so like if I want to, you know, if I want to air fry, let's say tofu or tempeh, how much can I fit in? Or vegetable. I've tried like, you know, roasting vegetables in it. And it just, you know, it just doesn't hold that much. It comes, you put stuff in a steamer basket and put it in there. So I haven't used that much. I probably,
Suzanne, I'm not crazy about Amazon, but you can look on Amazon for various pressure cookers. Just make sure that they're stainless steel, not aluminum.
exactly, right.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let me look at my notes and see if there was anything else that I
You
needed
also
to,
did tofu pancakes. That sounded interesting
yes.
to try.
The tofu pancakes it's something we've discovered relatively recently, and it's every Sunday morning we have tofu pancakes. It's made
Oh, we
with silken,
do it.
it's made with silken tofu, and I do the same thing. Remember when we made the garbanzo bean pancakes, the omelet? I mean, I did the same thing. Where are they? Where I mix up, you know, the dry ingredients.
Oh, okay.
This is how I save time, and I put you know, I do 3 different things. So for 3 different times, I don't have to mix it up, and I just, you know, and then of course, so then I just add the, you know, the wet and the dry together and start cooking. And anyway, they're delicious. And this particular recipe has cardamom in it, and I grind the cardamom seeds, and so it's just, I like cardamom. For people who don't, you could probably use cinnamon or something else. They're delicious. In fact, I like them just plain. I don't even need to put maple syrup on them or anything, but I usually do. So how are we doing here? I could lower it even a little bit more. Pretty low. Okay. We have less than 5
I
minutes
think
left.
mine's done because I can smell that it's cooked. I can
Okay.
smell,
I can
not
smell that,
yours, mine.
I can smell that it's cooking, but I can't smell that it's cooked. So.
Can I see your dessert bowl, Renee? Show me your
Oh,
dessert
yeah,
bowl.
sorry. Here's the dessert bowl. And it's just fruit salad. I mean, you could add, you know, it's pretty nutritious too. Sometimes I'll do that for a lunch and just, you know, and if you want to make it more desserty, you could throw in some vegan chocolate chips or raisins or throw some cinnamon on it or something. But anyway, it's good. We're gonna have it for dessert. I should probably not leave it out, but anyway. So so maybe next time we will do a stir fry. I just have to decide which one because I have several that I really like. So any other requests, suggestions, questions, concerns, feedback?
Well,
No,
it
thank
didn't
you so
explode. I'm
much.
happy.
I
So-
have dinner already. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Renee, the omelet was fantastic. I made it this week and it was delicious.
Wait, what was that? What food?
The chickpea omelet was delicious.
Oh,
We made
okay.
it. Yeah.
I can't see who is that who's speaking?
I know Me, I
Suzanne.
can't get me back on. There. Yeah, it's Suzanne, but I'm not on
Oh,
there.
it's
I'm not
Suzanne.
sure
Oh,
what's going.
okay.
I can't get
And
me
then I'm
back
getting a
on.
message here.
So
I'm
it's
gonna open my,
Okay, I don't know who that is, but I'll
Kate,
find
it was
out.
Kate, or Alan or Katie.
Oh, Alan or Katie. Oh, okay, I didn't even know they were there. They're so quiet. Okay. Good. So, how are we
This
doing?
is
We got
such
three-
a huge, tremendous, incredible, fantastic, wonderful gift, Renee. We are so, so grateful. Thank you.
Is that Emmy?
Yeah, my
Sounds
heart is
like
like
Emmy. Great.
overflowing.
Emmy was the inspiration for this whole thing last year. For her birthday, she wanted a cooking class, and so we did a Zoom cooking class during the middle of the pandemic, and we made the omelet actually. And I said it reminded me of you know, that I could do cooking classes online. Hey, why not? You know, and so you were the inspiration. It's
Thank
great.
you, Emily.
Thank you, Emmy. Yes, right.
This is so generous. This is so incredibly generous.
I'm
And my
having-
mom, I also want to tell you, my mom got the email and bought all the ingredients and made the soup. She didn't have time to be there during this time today, but you inspired her to make exactly what you just made.
Oh,
So.
good. Yeah, I don't know how many people are participating or how many people are cooking along or anything. I'm not like watching that. So, you know, a lot of people are just getting the recipes, and a lot of people are saying, oh, I had to. Oh, Selma went to a wedding this weekend. Her son got married, and her son called me on Friday night. I probably met the kid once when he was 3 years old. Anyway, he's probably in his 30s getting married. And he called me to say he couldn't come because he's getting married. That was fun. That was very cute. They live in Miami anyway. So congratulations to Selma and her son on his marriage to Laura. And yeah, so it's all good. So we have 1 minute and 21 seconds left. I'm gonna, this is amazing because it's still so high up, even though I have it on the lowest possible thing.
I just opened my pot. I usually I get antsy to open it, so I run it under cold water, and
Right.
then the valve goes down, and I open it up, and it's nice and thick, and
Yeah.
I can show you. It's nice and thick and looks very done, and yep, looks great.
Great, terrific. Well, I'm gonna open mine in a minute and hopefully it's not burnt to a crisp. But that is one of the ways. There are 3 ways of bringing down the pressure in your pressure cooker. One is natural pressure release. You just turn off the flame and let it come down by itself. It can take up to 10 minutes or so. The other one is putting it in the sink under cold water. It will not leak in because you have, you know, your pressure cooker is sealed, and that'll take it down very quick. And another way, which this one actually does not do, but my less expensive one, you just, if you turn this, here, I don't know. Well, I guess I'll have to hold this up. Can you see? Yeah, if you turn this thing to there, it'll release. And I usually, you know, put the fan on. Okay, voila. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off. Normally I would do natural pressure release, but because you're all sitting here waiting to see what the soup looks like, I'm gonna put it in the sink. This one does not, this particular model, unless I hold this thing like that, if I hold it like that, it'll release the pressure very slowly. So we are gonna put this in the sink and do a soup reveal party here. And as you can see, it's going down, it's going down.
Just needs salt.
Losing steam, as they say. Okay, and then it'll make this nice sound. Okay, we're down.
Mine came very thick. I could probably add water to it. You're gonna add some more, your
I
bouillon.
am gonna add, but first, and I just want to show you how, even though this thing is super hot, you can hold it like this without anything, you know, without a nib.
Pot holder.
And then here's another very important thing, Dennis, is that when you open a pressure cooker, you want to be very careful because it's very hot stuff in there. So when you open it up, always tilt the cover away from you.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
all that going up, because otherwise it'll go up in your face and scald you. So there we have that. Oh, it looks pretty done. And the way I'm going to check that it's done is I'm going to take out a little bit of, actually, it might not be totally done. I'm going to take out a little bit of,
Piece of squash.
not the squash is squash. Oh, it's done. Okay, so then I'm just going to pour in my,
What did you take out? in the
I
paste?
took out a split pea.
Oh, okay.
And the split pea was tender. And now I'm just going to add my other rest of my liquid, and it's, you see it? Voila. And then often what happens is if you stir it around a bit, if it hasn't happened already, here's my bay leaf, take out the bay leaf, is the squash becomes kind of part of the
Yeah.
liquid, and that thickens it as well. So
Oh,
there you have it. And then if you can eat your soup, and if it you feel like it needs more salt, feel free to add more salt, but not before your lentils are nice and cooked. Okay, we have it.
Peas, yeah.
I'm gonna cover it back up, keep it warm, so we'll eat in a bit when we're hungry. And that's it. So it's 5:13. That wasn't too bad, eh?
good.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so the next
So, Renee, I have a
yes,
question. Is it
Please.
possible for you to use the phone for the counter and the computer for the kitchen so that you can see us and see what we're doing too? No?
Dennis, did you hear the question?
Well, we could have another device in here.
Yeah, we could yet another device. We could. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Each time we're getting a little better and better. Dennis is my cameraman and Mayor is the Zoom hostess, and they've been doing a great job. So we can. That's a possibility. I mean, it doesn't usually. In the first time there were so many people that we kind of didn't want people to interrupt, and but it seems like this worked fine with people sort of chiming in naturally. So, okay. We
That was
good?
fun. Yes.
I
thank
had a
you,
good
Denise.
time, and now I'm gonna have a good meal.
Yes.
Me too.
So I just in terms of bread, I mean, some people have asked about bread. This is, I'm gluten-free, and this is one of the breads that I like, is this char bread. It's gluten-free and vegan. It's hard to find a gluten-free bread that's also vegan, but this is one of them, and this is the multi-grain. They sell it at Earth Origins. You could also get it, I think, at Winn-Dixie, and it has 5 grams of fiber and 2 grams of protein for 2 slices. And then the other thing that I like is Sammy's, which is not certified gluten-free. They say that there's wheat in it, but it's not in the ingredient list. And this is Sammy's, and it's millet flour, brown rice flour, and it has 1 lavash has 140 calories and 4 grams of protein and 18 grams of fiber. They add, I
Wow.
don't know why.
That's a lot.
Anyway, it has a lot of flax seeds in it and stuff like that. I usually eat half of one at a time. I did not realize it was that high in fiber. That might be a misprint. That's amazing. Anyway, no sugar. So I like those. I just nuke it for like 10 seconds because I keep them in the fridge, and really good. That's what we used for the wrap the first time as well. And if you go to Ward's, they have this in a spinach garlic version that I really like. So I happened to go to Ward's this week for the first time in a long time. It felt safe, and I got all the ones. I bought 2 of them. That's all they had. So so that's pretty much it. If there's no other questions, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we'll do a stir fry.
Thank you
Deal?
so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good week. Keep cozy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'll call you if I can't open that crock pot.
Oh, you have,
You can open it.
Pressure cooker.
can we see your pressure cooker and see what the problem is? Do you want to?
Well, the button is still up. I don't know if you can see the
Right.
button.
It takes a long time for it to come down after you turn the flame up, and meanwhile, it's continuing to cook. So that's
So-
why I run it underwater. But
Right, so you want to pick up the whole thing and put it in your sink and pour cold water over it. And then the pressure will come down.
Okay. It's not going to explode or anything.
No,
No,
you just
no.
run it over the side that doesn't have any valves, just one
Okay.
side.
All right, I'll do that.
Run cold
Okay.
water over it, and when the little button goes down, just open it up.
Okay,
But tilted away, but still tilted away from you so that
I
you don't
will.
get, okay? You
very
got
good.
it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
All right,
So-
have a good week.
okay, have a good week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.